하지마. 안 된다 했잖아.
20 must-watch retro classic anime movies before we die.
Oh, Japanese, you so crazy.
All right, here we go. Part 2.
The night is dark, compressed, and fatalistic. Two factions battle over the fate of Tokyo, driven by a prophecy that is essentially self-fulfilling. People die not because the war demands it, but because they believed the prophecy said they would. The protagonist is forced into choices that guarantee he loses everything he cares about, no matter what he does. The film operates on multiple levels and delivers one of the more striking endings from that era. If you saw the TV series first, this is a very different experience.
I am looking up the X information about the anime, but I'm not seeing it do its thing on IMDb, so we can look more detail about this. So I know it's based on the manga, but wait, I'm gonna have to go to IMDb or Google it. Hold on, give me 1 second. X manga anime, and of course I put a C in front of it. Okay, here we go. Come on, Google. Move. Wait. What's going on with what the? Give me 1 second. Something's going up with my. Here we go. Yes, it is a manga. I knew it was a manga. I was like, why is it not giving the information I want? So here it is. So known as X 1999 is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Clamp. Now, Clamp, for those people who don't know, and I've been looking into Clamp recently, right? They've changed over the couple of years, but it's a female manga artist writer group, right? It's an all production company, right? So there's 4 of them. First it was Nananase Okawa and 3 artists whose roles shift for each issues, right? Series. So this group is amazing. Like, they've put out so much stuff, dude, over the years, right? Since 1980s. Right, and they're still going. So over here you can go, and I'll put this in a link so you guys can check it out. But Clamp has introduced so much stuff for us to enjoy, including, you know, this movie that we're just going to be looking at, the X, in more detail. So you've got here, this is them about 20 years ago, right? The 4, and then if you look here, they've like currently there's Nanase Okawa, Mokona, Sabaki, Nikoi, and Tatsuki Igarashi, right? But also formerly they've had all these other artists here as writers as well. So the name Clamp refers to a storage clamp in the sense of a bunch of potatoes, right? There's reference to Dukion Clamp school defenders, where a teacher is observed saying the word name Clamp, right? So these, you know, the 4 of them back in 1980 got together a group as an you know, to create and write manga, and they started out formerly was you know, first formed in 1980s as a 12-member group creating doujinshi, right? Basically self-published works like us, right? Fan works. So doujinshis are like parodies or ongoing works, like people doing like their own versions of like Spider-Man. Unlike US, where everything's copyrighted and you can't do that, in Japan you can do that. You can actually do your own version of One Piece, and people will buy that, and it'll be okay. You won't get you won't get Disney's lawyers on you, right? Jumping down your throat and taking you to court for everything you got if you put out a comic book with Spider-Man on it. So that's how these guys started out. I guess from school, and then by '87 they produced their original manga. And by the time the group made its mainstream publishing debut with RG Vita in 1989, so you can see their style, right? It's I guess it's a classic anime style. Like if you look at the '80s, they have this sort of unique style of go back there, and this is their first work. So you make it that way. So you will always see this unique style in the art, and you'll know it's what period it's from. So that's his Clamp. And there was another group, I can't remember. There's another writing group, Bones. I think Bones is the other one. So this is the Bones group. Here we go. So Bones is an animation company, right? So these are two names you got to remember about when it comes to manga and anime: Bones and Clamp. Historically, they're like worked on some of the greatest things you can think of that's come out of Japan. Bungo Stray Nights is Stray Dogs is a really cool show. If you watch that anime, it's really cool. So now going back to X. So they came out in 1999. Wait, when did a manga come out? 92. All right. So original run ran for about 11 years. Yeah, 11 years, man. So it was a monthly Asuka magazine. That's where it came out. This is what I mean, like the art style of the '80s, right? These like really thin chins, arrowed chins, whatever you want to call it. And Katakawa Shoten now. I think it's just called Shotakawa. Katakawa. So the story behind, let me see the manga. What is the story? Where's the story? Yeah, so there's 18 volumes. Man, that's huge. 11 years they put out 18 volumes. Hey, that's a lot of work, don't you think, Tim? In 11 years they put out 18 volumes of manga, and they're around about 200 pages, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very impressive.
But this is just one book they put out at that time. They were putting out a whole bunch of them. I'm trying to figure out where's the story about this. Oh yeah, here we go. Prelude, right? So after his mother's death, Kamui Shiro returns to his home, Tokyo. As he arrives, he destroys a shikigami, right? So it's a supernatural story that attack him and is spied by a woman known as Princess Hinato. At school, Kamui starts ignoring his two childhood friends, the siblings Katori and Fuma Monao. Much to Kotori's sadness. Kamui is later spied by Hinato's bodyguard, Daisuke Saiki. Kamui attempts to kill Saiki, who was rescued by Arashi Kishu. So it's like it's pretty much a supernatural anime. So let me see if I can find a trailer for that, because X manga anime, it's X is such a weird freaking title. So it gets there is, by the way, a feature length movie, which is what we're talking about here, that you can actually watch in English on YouTube. It's called X the Movie, right? So let me show you what it is here, so you guys we'll play a little bit of it just to give you an idea of what X is. Because I mean, like I said, there's another movie that came out recently. It's that trilogy now, a horror movie out of Japan called X, right? This is why I had trouble trying to find out what X was, because it's called X the Movie. So in 1999, and this was 96 was the movie. In 1999, a battle takes place between two factions of divine warriors for the fate of the world. And yes, I have seen it. I gave it a 6. I mean, like when you're looking at older movies, decades later, you don't have the same impact that would have had if I had watched it at that time, because you've got 30 years of friggin' manga and animation stories and art styles have changed.